Hi everybody, Bob with Knives Town here. Today we're going to take a look at a Becker knife. This is the Becker BK2. It is known as a survival knife, or perhaps best known as a camp knife. If you'll notice the name there, the Campanion. Very clever. So it is a camping and survival type knife. It ships in this box with some literature, a K-bar pamphlet. It shows all the different knives and tools you can get from K-bar. Great company. Becker is a part of their team. There's the knife. A little bit about that sheath. The sheath is made of FRN, that's a fiberglass reinforced nylon. You can see that it is molded to the shape of the blade. In fact, it's so tightly or closely molded you can even see the grind line here. It's obviously the knife fits in only one way, and that outline is practically a skin tight enclosure around the knife blade. So of course there's not going to be any rattling at all in there. The sheath does contain 6 of these eyelets for tie downs, and 4 of these slots for webbing, or perhaps to wrap paracord around the sheath with to store paracord. It does clip or lock the knife in with these little indentations right here on the side. When pushed in, the knife snaps in there. It has a ballistic nylon dangle, which is a large one there. It would accommodate a very wide belt if necessary. Otherwise, it might move around a little bit on you with being so wide. So you might do want to use those tie downs if you're going to wear that on your hip, probably. It does come with a snap here, and one thing I like about it is it's got a folded over tail, so that's not going to start fraying on you. That's doubled over right there, so there's no exposed edge to the part that's going to get the most use. And it does have a good sufficient amount of tail on there, so it's easy to grab. Another thing I like about it is that it rotates. It'll rotate in there, so if you like to open your knife from the other direction, I mean, from this way instead, you can do that. That will rotate around in there. So that's nice. Other than that, it's a fairly simple sheath. It does have the Becker Knife and Tool logo on it right there, and it does have a sort of a very fine stippling. But really, to the touch, it's smooth. One thing about it is it's quite tight. It's a very, very tight sheath, and like I say, it does snap the knife in. Good and loud. You heard that. So it's not a covert sheath or a fast draw, not by any means. It is a very tight-fitting sheath, which does take some pressure to get that knife out. But the plus side is that it'll never fall out by accident. And when it goes back in, it's not quiet, but you hear tactily and audibly that your knife is locked in, and it's not going to fall out. You're not going to lose it. So it's a good sheath in those ways. It's got a nice push off here for your thumb. It's got a little bit of jimping on it even to use. If you don't like this dangle, this ballistic nylon dangle, it can be removed. It's attached with these 4 screws, and then you can remove that, and then you would just have this part only with the knife in it, and then maybe you would just throw it in your bailout bag or something like that, not even wear it. Or you could perhaps fashion your own attachment, whatever. but if you want to take that off, you can. Looking at the knife, we've got this thing is just a brute, absolutely brutal. It is just the most. You really get a feeling of indestructible. Just something that's totally indestructible here when you're working with this. Technical specs here: blade is 5 1/4 inches long, and it is 1/4 of an inch thick. 1/4 of an inch thick blade. You could pound a nail with the spine of this blade. It is just a thick slab of steel is what you're dealing with, and it holds it all the way to the end, all the way to the tip. It doesn't narrow. There's no swedge. It holds that thickness all the way, so you can see that this is absolutely a strong knife. The steel is 1095 Crovan. It does have a flat grind on it here. The edge angle, the secondary bevel, is cut at 20 degrees. That's good information to have for resharpening. And you could resharpen this with a clamp system. I always look for that on my knives if I'm going to buy one. I always look for a flat spot here up at the spine where I can use the clamp system. If you haven't got a flat spot up here, then you're not going to be able to get it locked in, and it's going to be wobbling on you. You're not going to get a consistent edge. The overall length of the knife is 10 1/2 inches, and the weight is 1 pound. This handle is made of grivery, which is a material stronger than Zytel. It's just an absolutely it's a worthy mate to this knife. Again, like I say, this knife is just 100 years from now, when you and I are gone, this knife will still be around, and no reason why it shouldn't be. It is a stout, robust knife. Let's get a close-up on it for you. You can see that it's coated with the black coating there to protect the blade. This is the BK2 model. It does come to a bit of a spear point there. It is full tang, of course. It does have a lanyard hole and a hammering pommel. You can see that there's no spacers, but really there's none needed. Okay. The ergonomics on this knife are very good. Very good. It feels the handle is smooth and contoured. It feels good in the hand. It's very you can see it swells there in the middle. There's a palm swell in the middle, so that fits right into your hand very well. And there's a finger guard here in the front, and then this enclosure here in the back to lock your hand in. Sharp? You betcha. This would be absolutely a perfect camping or survival knife to use. It's called the Campanion, so that pretty much says it all. And it is absolutely a knife that don't worry about giving it any kind of abuse or any kind of treatment. This knife can take it. Comes with a nice sheath there. There you go. That's the Becker BK2 Campanion. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.